from my morning walk, which I've just been rained on like to the max and it's just stopped. But I'm walking to the in-post locker because I've got a Vinted to post. I ended up selling the book that I just finished reading, The Psychology of Money. I've got to say, right, it might not seem much to some people, but I'm actually really proud of myself for finishing that because I didn't, like, it was okay. Probably rated like a 6 out of 10. Wasn't the best. I'm just thinking, can I get through here? I can't. The locker's literally like there. But I don't know if there is a cut through here. I don't think there is. I'll have to walk around. But yeah, just on my walk, and I'm just finding that, like, if I have a walk with a purpose, I find it a lot easier. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind walking. Like, I usually walk around quite a nice estate, so I don't mind that because this is nice houses and I like looking at them. But if I've got like a place to be, I quite enjoy that because it's like, I don't know, somewhere to go. Okay, I've walked around and I'm here now. It's only taken me like 15 minutes to get here, which isn't too bad. Alright, that is done now, so I'm going to head back home. I often find that if I get out in the morning, don't get me wrong, I've done walks later on in the afternoon and I just find that I can't be as bothered in the afternoon. But if I head out like first thing, like as soon as it gets light and just get it done and out of the way, it just feels so much better because I'm up, I've got the fresh air in my face. In this case, this morning, the rain. But then when I go home, shower, get dressed and things, like I'm ready to start my day.
Do you remember 20-something years ago? Those cold nights in December and the sound of the falling snow, the fireplace warming us, the VHS movie box, your old broke down touring bus, and not a single cloud in the sky. If I could go back.
I've had my shower and got myself dressed, and I've just popped some makeup on because I'm about to film a new look haul. And I'm just thinking, like, my friend Georgia made a story the other day on her Instagram, and she was saying how much better she feels when she puts makeup on for the day, and it just picks her up and stuff. And you know, I was telling you guys before about how, you know, going out for the walk in the morning really helps me feel productive for the day. I feel like putting makeup on is kind of doing the same for me. I've been doing it for the last few days. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not doing it every day, and I'm probably only going to wear it for filming this haul and then take it off. So, because I'm not going anywhere for the rest of the day, but I'm trying to make a little bit more of a conscious effort to do my makeup and kind of, I don't know, yeah, just do my makeup and stuff for when I'm either going out somewhere or filming these hauls, etc. Makeup is on, hair is slicked back, it is due a wash, but I'm probably going to do that later. I didn't want to do it before filming the haul because my hair is usually tied back anyway, so it's a more realistic look for, when I'm trying on clothes, I like it to look as realistic as possible as to what I would look like when I'm wearing things out and about. So that's why I've done my makeup as well, because if I'm starting to make a bit more effort with putting makeup on before I go out, I should wear makeup and have my hair as I usually would whilst trying things on, you know? But I will probably wash my hair a bit later because I want to do the colour gloss as well. So I'll probably film this haul, take my makeup off. I've got a couple of bits to do around the house, like the washing, changing the bed, etc. All the fun stuff. That is my filming done. As much as I've enjoyed wearing makeup, my skin feels so much better when it's off. And did you know that every 43 seconds somebody grabs the Calm Balm from your powder? To be honest, it's not that surprising. You guys have definitely noticed a big difference in my skin over the last few months, that is for sure. And honestly, it's down to double cleansing. This is the duo that I've been using, the Calm Balm and the Bubble Double from your powder. And that glass skin trend that you keep seeing all over the place is created by deep pore cleansing, because hydrating products can then be better absorbed on clean skin. So the Calm Balm that I'm using now removes removes any makeup, including my mascara, so easily, by the way. I just love having a cleanser that I can really get in there and remove my mascara, and it deeply cleanses the skin. It's gentle but really powerful and penetrates deep into your skin. So essentially only an oil-based product can effectively remove oil-based residues and impurities from your skin, which is why this is great for removing my makeup, sebum and other residues off of my skin. And it's also really great for sensitive skin. Then next I'm following up with the Bubble Double. Now this is a water-based cleanser which gently exfoliates with salicylic acid. It deeply cleanses the pores and it keeps my pH levels balanced as well. And that allows products that I use after cleansing to absorb better into the skin. Now, since I started double cleansing, I feel like my skin is so much cleaner than it was before. I just know that my makeup is completely removed and the rest of my skincare, I can really feel it being allowed to serve its purpose, which of course means overall better results. And if you don't cleanse your skin properly, even the best serums won't work. And then this is the skin that makes me feel like I can live my life makeup free. It makes me feel overall just so much more confident in myself. And this cleansing duo honestly helps the rest of my routine work so much better. There is a reason why it is a bestseller and the results speak for themselves. So I would recommend grabbing them before they do sell out. I've popped a link in the description so you could go and check them out yourself. Thank you so much to Yopoda for sponsoring this portion of the video. Guys, I need to show you what I've just had for my lunch. You know how people do like their beauty empties? Well, this is my food empties. This is what I've had for my lunch. I just filmed a little eating video for TikTok, for TikTok, Instagram, and it should be going up on shorts. I don't know if it will be before this or after this, I'm not sure, but I've just had the Itsu chicken soup dumplings. I'm gonna buy these weekly, and they're really not that bad at all. They're 240 calories per pack. For all six of them, 240 calories, which obviously I'm not calorie counting, but it's quite low calorie. I seasoned them with soy sauce and honey and some spring onions. Absolutely to die for, although absolutely like volcanic syrup in the bottom. It was so hot. I think I've burnt all the inside of my mouth, but anyway, so I had that, and then I've picked up some of these Muller Lights the past couple of weeks. This was the orange and dark chocolate sprinkles one, which is quite nice, and then I had a banana. So that's my lunch today. I've got quite a lot of tidying up to do, to be fair. I have house is just a little bit untidy now because I've been filming a lot and moving things about, and I need to put a wash on, etc. So we're gonna have a little bit of a reset, get this space back to how it should be.
Of mine who saw you just the other day. Oh, I guess that you were back in town. It's been a long time since you've been around. Remember when we used to make the streets unsafe together, baby? We were young and foolish then. Oh, how I wish we could go back again. Decided it's been too long, baby. Reaching out to touch your heart, hope for a maybe. I get a one-way ticket down to memory lane. There are two hearts beating, just nothing will ever be the same. We had a chance, babe, to work it all out, but we blew it on our foolish pride. And now I wanna scream and shout, I love that I love you. Wanna shout, I love that I love you, baby. We had a chance, babe, to work it all out, but we blew it on our foolish
that I've done my little reset and everything's looking nice and fresh, I thought we could do a little bit of a check-in, I guess, of my 2026 goals, because I set these goals and boy do I want to stick to them. And I think me chatting with you guys about it and giving you kind of regular-ish updates on how things are going might help keep me accountable. I don't think I'll do this monthly as such, just kind of as and when, well, just as and when, I don't know. I thought since it is heading towards the end of January, this is usually around the time where people tend to forget about the resolutions and pretend that they didn't exist. So I thought around now was a good time for me to kind of have a little check-in and, you know, see how you guys are doing with your goals and your resolutions, if you set any. Let me know in the comments. I've written mine down on a note so that I can remember them, and I thought we could go through each one. So the first one was workout and healthy eating routine. I think that I am doing really well at this at the minute. Now, we all know that when it comes to kind of healthy eating and exercise and kind of that whole thing of like wanting to lose weight, but you know, all that kind of side of things always comes with a very big kind of burst of motivation at the beginning of a year or the beginning of a month, or just like, you know, when you get those bursts of motivations and then they start to dwindle off a little bit. Now, I feel like I am doing super well with my consistency. I've actually lost at this point 9 pounds, which I think a lot of that is to do with, first of all, walking. I spoke about this in my What I Eat in a Day video that I posted. Walking seems to absolutely melt weight off me, so I've been really consistent with walking every single day. I have not had a day off since the 1st of January. I've done like 45 minutes to an hour every day. I think I told you guys at the beginning of the video about that. So I'm really determined to make that part of my routine and make sure that I'm getting out the house in the morning, because I have ended up doing a couple in the afternoon / when it's starting to get dark again, and I've needed to do that because of just things that have been going on in the morning in my life, because sometimes life happens. But I definitely prefer doing them in the morning. So I feel like that's going really well. Our meal planning in terms of Emmanuel writing out what like meals we're having for the week is working really well, because I'm pretty, like, I'm not picky. I will eat pretty much anything that's put in front of me, and I enjoy cooking. So it's nice to have that little bit of variety rather than me kind of getting a bit of a brain fog on what to make. I've got that listed out, so I've got options, you know, and then obviously setting myself a shopping list. So I feel like the first resolution is going really well. Long may it continue. Some of you might have guessed, or may be able to guess now that I'm mentioning it now, but I am doing a little bit of a challenge at the minute, which I'm not going to talk about or post about until I've done it, because, well, there's a few reasons. I just don't, I feel like when I've done certain challenges and things in the past that I get a lot of unsolicited opinions, shall we say, on how people think that I should be doing it, how they think I'm doing things wrong, etc., etc. But I'm figuring if I complete this challenge, then it's done, isn't it? And I know, well, what I did worked, without having to listen to people say, oh, you're doing that wrong, oh, you shouldn't do that, oh, there's too many grains of rice on your plate, you know? So yeah, little hint. I've done a version of this before, but never this. Okay, moving on to the next one before I give too much away. Continue healthy hair journey. Going very well. I'm currently on, got a hair mask in. Gonna wash that out tonight. I think me switching to hair glosses is probably gonna help, because I just think that it's a nice, cheaper alternative to go to the hairdressers and getting my hair toned. And it's the same thing essentially. And I feel like my hair is feeling definitely longer and thicker. I feel like it's definitely getting there. I just need to keep up my routine, keep up with my, just everything that I'm using, my hair masks, washing it more regularly. I am looking for a recommendation for a clarifying shampoo, if you guys have any. I did use the Colour Wow, Colour Security one, I think it's called. I did use that, which I didn't realise was a clarifying shampoo to begin with, but when I did, I was like, okay, that makes sense as to why it was like drying my hair out, because I was using it every wash. But yeah, any recommendations that you think is good, or should I stick to the Colour Wow one, because that seemed to do all right? But you know, I love a recommendation, so if you have any of those, please throw them my way. The next one is reading. Now, I have finished a book. I finished a book, guys. I've literally finished an entire book. The Psychology of Money, which I posted on my community post. Some of you thought it would be better if I started with a non-fiction. While I agree in part, there's just something about non-fiction books that, I don't know, I think it's the self-help kind of aspect of it. I think sometimes I feel like if I'm gaining something from it, then I'm more likely to read it. And I won't lie, the book that I've just read wasn't the best because it wasn't quite what I thought. It was called The Psychology of Money, and I don't know if it said this on the back, or maybe I just didn't read that part, but it was essentially a collection of stories about people who have kind of made money and how their mindset was, like what kind of risks they took, whether they should have taken them, shouldn't have taken them. There wasn't much information about kind of money itself, and like I guess I was looking more for not financial advice, but kind of just a little bit more of a explanation about how certain things work. Like, I don't know, just explaining certain types of savings accounts and whether having a cash ISA is better than having a stocks and shares ISA. Like, that kind of stuff is the kind of knowledge that I was seeking from that, and it didn't really give that. But I don't know if that's just because I didn't read the blurb properly. Most likely. But yeah, I'm moving on to my next book, which is called An African History of Africa, and it's essentially it's quite a chunky book, and it's about the history of Africa and kind of the evolution of how things have happened and what's happened in the continent of Africa since the beginning of time. And I picked this up thinking that it would be good to have that kind of knowledge. Like, obviously I'm not a historian and I'm not going to be able to like recite dates and things that certain things happened, but I just think that come the day that we have children who want to know about their history and, you know, what maybe growing up in Nigeria would have been like back in the day, or I don't know, I just think it's good to have a bit of a knowledge about where my future children, like cultural history and things. I think it's just good to kind of know stuff about that. So I've started that as my next book, and the last resolution that I made was to learn something new. So in part, I guess I'm doing that with the books that I'm reading, but I did mean kind of more like an online course or just expanding my knowledge in a way. I did find one which was about YouTube content creation and kind of how to understand the analytics and how to understand all your insights and analytics on the YouTube studio and things, and how to kind of use them to help get more reach and stuff like that. And I thought that would be really useful for a business kind of perspective. Clicked on it and I downloaded, I didn't download it, sorry. I clicked on it. I got past the introduction and then a paywall came up and it didn't say anything about paying at the beginning. So I ended up closing that because as much as I understand that obviously people have created these courses and they deserve to be paid for them and stuff like that, I personally am looking for a free course at the moment unless it's going to get me some kind of recognised qualification. So I know that the Open University does free courses, so I might just have a little look back on there and see if they've got anything that might help me and see what that's looking like, because like I say, I get that people who create these online courses of course deserve to be paid, but it's just not something that I'm looking for at the moment unless I was to get a recognised qualification out of it. So and that was all my resolutions. I feel like I'm going all right at the minute. I feel like we're doing well for the end of January. So yeah, I'm happy with that. Let me know how yours are going. Have you completely forgotten about them? Have you decided, screw that, I'm not doing it? Or are you doing well? Let me know in the comments.
Baby, let me love you.